What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So if you guys remember, I think it was like a year ago or a year and a half ago, I did a video basically talking about my iPhone 10 experience and how I pretty much got ripped off with my iPhone 10 when I bought it used. And pretty much there was a water damage, there wasn't really water damage. And since then, I've kind of taken a step back and try to thoroughly examine when I'm buying used technology, which I do a lot. I'm a broke boy. I don't like spending a lot of money. So every time I buy a used technology or buy anything, I always do my research now way better than I did before. And one of the things that I've been looking at recently, I think ever since the Samsung Galaxy S10 came out, I've really been looking at this phenomenon of these used phones and how people are getting ripped off left and right. Now, it's not everybody, not everyone's affected, and it might not even that big of a deal. I was affected at one point, but it wasn't that big of a deal because it was like a cheap phone. But I feel like more and more people are going to be getting ripped off about this. And it's not anything too crazy, it's nothing insane, but pretty much it's just kind of doing your background and everything. And this has been around for forever. So first things, if you're buying a used iPhone 11, keep in mind, make sure the phone is iCloud unlocked, make sure there's no account associated with it, and also make sure there's a clean IMEI. You don't want to buy a phone that, was stolen or whatever the case is. You want to make sure those things are set. So that should just be the background check that you do in the first place, But the most important thing now that I feel like a lot of people are getting affected by is to make sure that it's actually fully paid off before you buy it, unless you're purposely buying it because it's not paid off. But for 99% of you, make sure your iPhone 11, 11 Pro, or 11 Pro Max, or really any other phone, but this is more so for these phones, make sure those phones are fully paid off, okay? And the reasoning is because, first of all, many carriers, as you guys know, were doing all those trade-in deals, and like I said with the Galaxy S10, there were insane trade-in deals. Like you traded in like a paperclip and you got like $500 off. It's crazy stuff. Now, some people, not everyone, okay, but some people did a trade-in, okay, and then they would go resell that phone, making a profit, okay? So they would buy like a Galaxy S8 for like $100 or $150. They would trade that in, get like $300 or $400 off the Galaxy S10, buy that, and then resell that for like $600, $700, and they would make like $200 profit. But then what they would do is sometimes they would get that on a contract. So they would get that phone on a contract, then they would go ahead and resell that phone. They would report that phone as stolen, so then they wouldn't have to make any more payments off that. And then you're pretty much left with a phone that works, but you can't get cell signal on it. So it's really just good for parts. And it happened to me at one point. It wasn't like a flagship phone. It was like an iPhone 7. I think I bought it last year. And the scary thing is that when you buy it, everything works. The cell signal works, the data works, everything is fine with it. But it wasn't until like 2 weeks later did that phone get reported stolen. And then I had to go and like return it to the eBay seller and all of that. But I did some more research and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% positive that person did that trade-in thing. So they traded in a phone and then they got an iPhone 7 and they sold that or whatever. But stolen phones are sold all the time. But with these newer phones, you want to make sure that that's the case. The way you can verify this though is that you want to get the IMEI or serial number or whatever from the seller, and you want to call up that specific seller, because if you go on Swappa or if you go on any of these websites that you can verify the IMEI, it'll show you that it's a clean IMEI, it's not stolen, it's not whitelist, blacklist or whatever. It'll show you that it's still working, which is the scary part. The greatest success I've had is to call the carrier themselves, the phone carriers like AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, whatever. You want to call those people and verify them over the phone. Hey, is this phone fully paid off? Now, they'll probably tell you, oh, you can't get this info. You're not on the contract. You don't have an account with them, whatever. But you just have to let them know, like, you're buying this phone from somebody who has a contract. And then before I buy it, I want to make sure it's fully paid off. Like, if you say that, they'll probably be okay with it. But I think from now on out, this is probably the way I'm going to start buying phones. Calling up the people themselves and making sure it's fully paid off. Unless I'm buying a phone that already is like blacklisted, which I don't really care about. Just make sure it's not stolen. But ultimately, this is the new way people are getting scammed, and it's kind of scary. So make sure you kind of cover your bases. Of course, like I said, iCloud unlocked to make sure there's no iCloud account associated with it. Make sure it has a clean IMEI from the base level. You can put it in those websites and get it from there. But once you get that IMEI, verify it with those contracts. Make sure it's fully paid off. You do not want to buy a phone that has a balance on it, because then they're just going to report it stolen, or you're not going to be able to use it, or you're only going to be use it on those specific contracts. So with a lot of AT&T people, you cannot get those phones unlocked until it's fully paid off. So once it's fully paid off, then you're fine, but you want to make sure that's the case, guys. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.